down to the Supreme Consciousness.
Atha Srimad Bhagavad Gita Dvadashamodhyayah Bhakti Yoga.
Today, let's begin with the Chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga, Yoga through Devotion.
Since this is a short chapter, we intend to do the recitation of Shloka along with the description in one video.
Previously, Arjuna sees the Vishwarupa of Lord Sri Krishna, wherein he gets wonderstruck and overwhelmed by the magnificent occurrence. He even gets terrified looking at the numerous mouths and people dying in front of his eyes. Later, he surrenders and begs to Lord Sri Krishna to come back to his normal form. Now let's get into the 12th chapter and see the various stages of the bhakti that Arjuna understands. Bhakti Yoga is a small chapter containing 20 shlokas, but yet it is a complete chapter as it provides the entire teaching of the Vedanta. As we all know, Bhagavad Gita has been divided into 3 shatkams for easier understanding. The first, the Prathama Shatkam, chapters 1 to 6 deal with Karma Yoga. Madhyama Shatkam, chapters 7 to 12 deal with Upasana Yoga or Bhakti Yoga, and Antima Shatkam from chapters 13 to 18 deal with Jnana Yoga, the values we learn from the knowledge above. With Bhakti Yoga, we come to the end of Madhyama Shatkam. From the next chapter, it will be the Antima Shatkam. What is Bhakti Yoga? Bhakti Yoga is the art of loving devotion towards the divine. It is to see the divine in everything. For me, Bhakti Yoga is the password to dissolving your ego. This is to surrender to the divine's plan. As in the previous chapter, Lord Krishna says, one cannot attain the Supreme without devotion. I am only attained through bhakti, and those who have faith in it are dear to me. Sri Ramana Maharshi once commented that by constantly focusing the attention to the source, the ego gets dissolved in the source. Let's see what it means by an example. Let me introduce to you the concept of goals versus means. So let's take an example that we need to climb a mountain and we take a help of a guide. Here the goal is to climb the mountain, and the means by which we climb is the guide. During the journey, we take care of the means or the guide by providing him water, food and everything. The guide instead helps us with the higher altitude, guiding the route and protecting us from all the dangers up. Here, the goal of climbing the mountain is most important, and with the help of guide, it becomes easier. So we kind of give importance to the means. But once we reach our goal, the means doesn't stand any significance. So what does it tell us? That love for the goal is more important than the love for the means. So we come to the question, whom do we love most? In the Brihadandakya Upanishads, there is a famous shloka. It says, Atmanastu kamanya sarvam priyam bhavati, which means everyone loves himself or herself the most. Which leads us to the conclusion that love for the means is the least. Love for the goal is mediocre, but the love for the self is the highest. Based on this, we can gauge our love for God and understand whether we consider God to be our means, our goal, or ourself. Here we understand we have the opportunity for the highest kind of devotion or love, that is to see in ourselves. And that is the highest bhakti. In this chapter, we are going to see the different stages of bhakti and who is a parabhakt, the supreme bhakt. Let's move into the recitation of the shloka from 1 to 12.
Arjuna Vacha Evam Satata Yuktasye Bhaktastvam Pariyupasate Ye Chapyaksharam Avyaktam Tesham Ke Yoga Vittamaha. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Veshya Mano Ye Mam Nitya Yukta Upasade Shraddhaya Parayopetas Te Me Yukta Tamamata Ye Tvaksharam Anirdeshyam Avyaktam Pariyupasate Sarvatra Gamachintyancha Kutastam Achalandruvam Saniyam Yendriya Gramam Sarvatra Samabuddhaya Te Prapnuvanti Mameva Sarvabhuta Hiterataha Kleshodika Tarastesham Avyakta Sakta Chetasam Avyakto Hi Gatir Duhkam Deha Vatbiravapyate Ye tu sarvani karmani Mayi sanyasya matpara Ananyenaiva yogena Mam dhyayanta upasate Teshamaham samudarta Mrityu samsara sagarat Bhavami na chirat partha Maya vesheta chetasam Mayeva mana addatsva Mayi buddhim niveshaya Nivashishyasi mayeva Atha urdvam na sanshayah Atha chittam samadhatum Na shaknosi mayi stiram Abhyasa yogena tato Mamechaptum dhananjaya Abhyasepi samartosi Matkarma paramo bhava Madartam api karmani Kurvan siddhim avapsyasi Athaitadapya shaktosi Kartum madhyogam ashritaha Sarva karma phala tyagam Tatha guru yatatmavan Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat Jnanadhyanam vishishyate Dhyanat karma phala tyagas Tyagat chantiranantaram.
Bhakti Yoga comprises of 3 level sadhanas. They are the Karma Yoga Lakshana Bhakti, Upasana Yoga Lakshana Bhakti and Jnana Yoga Lakshana Bhakti. In this chapter, Krishna further subdivides these levels into 5. Let's look into it further. Now Krishna subdivides Karma Yoga Lakshana Bhakti into Sakama Karma and Nishkama Karma. Let's first look into Sakama Karma. Sakama Karma. In this category, Krishna accommodates selfish, materialistic people. He says, if you cannot let go your desire for wealth and fame, continue to do that, but follow these two conditions. Number one being, fulfill all your worldly desires with legitimate ways. Secondly, whenever you accomplish your worldly desire and succeed in it, do not try to claim and think it as a gift from the Lord Himself, which is termed as Ishvara Prasada Buddhi. Treat everything as a gift from the Lord. Because when we practice Ishvara Prasada Buddhi, one's mind becomes purer and it shifts its attention from the I to the others and questions if only doing for our own self, is it enough? Do we need to contribute socially? This qualifies us to move to the next level, the Nishkama Karma. In Nishkama Karma, we tend to give more as opposed to taking more in Sakama Karma. Previously, the mind measured success with how much I accumulated. But now, in this level, in the second level of Nishkama Karma, I measure it through how much I have given. So this proves that success is directly proportional to how much you give. Giving need not only be money. You can give attention. You can give kind and appreciative words to others. You can give knowledge to others, and etc. All this is termed as Ishvara Arpana Bhava. Previously, it was in the Sakama Karma, it is Ishvara Prasada Buddhi. Here, it is Ishvara Arpana Bhava. We give. Once the person graduates these two levels, he moves into the third, Upasana Yoga, wherein Krishna subdivides into Upasana Yoga of the Eka Rupa and Upasana Yoga through Aneka Rupa. Krishna describes the third level as Abhyasa Yoga. This helps in focusing the mind within. Why this third level? This meditation technique leads the person to focus within his inner nature, worshipping through Eka Rupa Sadhana. And why is this meditation prescribed at third level? Because after Karma Yoga, the mind gets purer. But a Karma Yogi is always thinking about the external. So to bring the focus within and understand the inner self is a basic requirement to reach the next level. Once this is practiced sufficiently, Krishna advises to move to the next level and replace Eka Rupa Ishvara to Aneka Rupa Ishvara as explained in the 11th chapter. This particular meditation helps in the expanding of the mind. Visualizing the entire creation as God Himself reduces the Raga Dvesha in a person and helps him paves his way towards Nirguna Ishvara, or the formless creator. After the person completes all these four levels, he is eligible for the fifth and the final level, that is the Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga, otherwise known as Nirguna Arupa Ishvara Dhyana. This involves 3 steps. They are Shravanam, Mananan and Nididhyasanam. Shravanam means the systematic study of all the scriptures under a competent guru. Mananam means the stage where you are able to remove all your doubts and intellectual obstacles that block your mind towards obtaining greater knowledge. And Nididhyasanam is the step which involves in removing the emotional blocks, the emotional trauma which the person has gone through. So a person has to go through all these levels to understand the formless from the form. The 4 Purusharths or the principles which our scriptures follow are the Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. The goal is moksha, liberation, and Bhakti Yoga is the way to moksha. We start with Dharma. We situate our mind in Dharma and attain Artha or wealth and navigate through our desires or Kama and successfully practice the dhyanas, meditations, and reach moksha. This is the journey what a bhakta takes through all these levels to reach moksha. Here, the answer to Arjuna's question that who is superior, Vishvarupa Bhakta or Ekarupa Bhakta, to which Krishna replies intelligently that Vishvarupa Ishvara Bhakta indeed is great, but Arupa Ishvara Bhakta is the one who attains me. With this, let's move on to the next Shlokas, 13 to 20.
Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara samaduhka sukakshami santushta satatam yogi yatatma dridha nishchaya mayarpittam mano buddhi yomad bhakta same priya yasmano dvijate loko lokano dvijate chaya harshamasha bhayodvegair mukto yasacha me priya anapeksha suchir daksha udasino gatavyata sarvarambha parityagi yo madbhakta same priya yo na hrishyati na dveshti na shochati na kankshati shubha shubha parityagi bhakti manya same priya sama shatrau cha mitre cha tatha mana pamanayo shitoshna sukha dukkeshu sama sanga vivarjita tulya ninda stutir mauni santushto yena kenachit aniketa sthira matir bhakti man me priyo naraha ye tu dharmyamritam medam yathoktam paryupasate shraddha dana mat parama bhaktaste tiva me priya.
In these verses, Krishna explains the nature and the type of character the Parabhakta has. A Parabhakta or a Sthita Prajna is the one who has discovered the self and the Arupa. He is a Jnani in the true sense. Krishna clearly says that a Parabhakta is the one who attains me, as he is the one who has united with me. Now let's see the virtues of a Parabhakta and the negative traits he is free from. A Parabhakta is endowed with friendliness, compassion, equanimity, forbearance, contentment, self-control, self-knowledge, devotion, gentleness, purity, resourcefulness. He is free from hatred, I notion, my notion, ego, anxiety, envy, fear, elation, dependence, selfish action, grief, and desire. Krishna concludes this chapter by saying that anyone who follows all these with faith is very dear to me. With this, we come to the end of 12th chapter.
Om Tat Sat Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Bhakti Yoga Nama Dwadashamodhyayah Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Thus, in the Upanishad of the glorious Bhagavad Gita, the science of eternal scripture of yoga, the dialogue between Shri Krishna and Arjuna ends the 12th discourse, Bhakti Yoga.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
I bow down to the Supreme Consciousness.
Thank you. If you like the video, please to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Vedic Treasure.